Nathaniel Bandy. Striving for originality.
This Top 10 intro is brought to you by VectorStar Productions.
Hey look! It's the Smash game that nobody likes for some reason! Yeah, sure, it's not that great if played competitively, but it's still a very solid game. Today, we're gonna look at the worst Brawl stages in terms of the ones that are the least fun to play or just practically unplayable. And you know, I even like stages with the gimmicks, but sometimes they go way too far with it. So without further ado, let's go! Number 10. The Ice Climbers just can't catch a break when it comes to their stage in Melee and Brawl. Summit is one of the stages that you want to like, but you just can't. There's too many flaws. Summit is a traveling stage, which is pretty neat actually. I've always liked stages like this. You start on this icicle that slides down a mountain and into a body of water. Then some magical arrows lift the stage back up to the top of the mountain to repeat the cycle. So this stage is basically symbolism of climate change, or is at least hinting at it. Game! Let's leave real life out of this, okay? Anyway, Summit's biggest problem is that half the stage is covered in ice. Why is that supposed to make any brawling possible when characters are slipping around everywhere? And there's the random tripping too! I mean, yeah, the Ice Climbers don't slip on the ice, but everyone else does. That's freaking crap, man. My favorite part has to be when the icicle is sliding down the hill. I really enjoy the light gravity and just cruising downwards. Thankfully, once you get into the water, a lot of the ice from the stage sinks below, which is nice, but if you get in the water, this giant fish from Balloon Fight can quickly eat you and take a life. And when I say quickly, I mean it. You have almost no time to react to this freak of nature. Why is there a fish from Balloon Fight in an Ice Climber stage anyway? Was it foreshadowing for the Balloon Fight stage in Smash Bros. For 3DS? Knowing Sakurai, he would plan that far ahead. Number 9. Each Metroid stage in Smash pushed the boundaries for how much lava spewed around. Norfair is an example of taking that gimmick way too far and making the stage less fun. I do appreciate the overall simple level design, but there's just way too many opportunities to get burned. Lava rises from the bottom, from the sides, out of some geyser in the air. There's even a huge lava fall where you have to escape into a tiny capsule to avoid getting hit. This stage could have been really great if they took out the lava fall and maybe the geysers. Less is more. You know, my mom always says less is more. That statement really is true when applied to Norfair. The lava coming up from the bottom can get so high that there's only 2 platforms left. Are you for real? There's also not too much notification when these things happen. You only have a second or two to respond. I've also recently learned that if you hit a bomb while inside the capsule, you won't be protected from it and you'll take damage. Some capsule, huh? So apparently it can protect you from gallons upon gallons of lava, but a measly bomb? Nah, it doesn't stand a chance from that. This is why you don't invest with as seen on TV products. Bad, bad. Number 8. Oh, Skyworld. Your idea of breaking platforms was too sky high for my taste. I like the idea of breaking parts or even all the stage up. It's refreshing and makes the experience a bit more immersive than ever before. Here's the problem. Any characters that have bad recovery options are screwed. If you get launched really far, good luck coming back, as only some of the ledges are grabbable. Grabbable. Grab-able. Able to grab. Gibelderab. I don't even know. And what makes this worse is that it's easy to break the stage that you're trying to recover from. For example, Ike's recovery has him throw his sword up into the air and try to grab the stage. Oftentimes, he'll break a piece off and then just tumble to his death. You can't grab onto the clouds, that's for sure. You can actually be launched through the clouds, which theoretically makes sense, but man, does it bring around some cheap kills. But wait, you can walk on the clouds and you don't fall through them. This game's physics make no sense at all. I've noticed that when getting knocked hard on the bottom platforms, it's very easy to get bounced off the middle platform right above and soar to the blast zone. I don't know why it's so easy to get launched so fast. Maybe the platform should have been spread more vertically. Number 7. I love that Sakurai adds weird things to Smash Bros. Games. Brawl has Hannon Bow, and it's not a good weird. Oh no, it's really, really bad. Coming right from an obscure Nintendo DS game, Electroplankton, you basically fight on a bunch of leaves that move and change color when you hit them. The art style does look really cool, but besides that, the stage is terrible. All the leaves are too small for fighting ground, and it's hard to get any sort of combos in when the ground moves slightly up or down every 2 seconds. There's also this water stuff that's incredibly deceiving. You'd think that if you fall into the water, you can swim like you can for all the other water in the game. But not for Hannon Bow. You instead just fall through and drown and die. All the platforms are very awkwardly spaced too. None of them are really connected, so it's really only possible to fight in the air. And for whatever reason, there's a leaf sitting in the water sticking straight up. Why on earth is it there? Nobody's gonna fight on that thing. It's too small. Hannon Bow? More like Hannon No.
Number 6.
I remember when I first saw the reveal trailer for Brawl. One of the first things I wanted from the game was World 1-1 from Super Mario Bros. And wouldn't you guess, I got my wish. Why did I wish for this? It's bad. I do suppose it's neat that you can play World 1-1 and 1-2 since they're both rather iconic, but the biggest problem is how fast the stage auto-scrolls. It may not seem that fast at first, but it is if you're actually trying to fight. You might get 2 inputs in, then you have to run to the right, find stable balance, get 2 or 3 more inputs in, and repeat. It gets worse when there's tons of obstacles in the way of the stage too. It's also pretty easy to get your character stuck behind a pipe or something. If you don't get out of the way, the stage's left blast zone will take your stock. World 1-2 is loaded with blocks to break, which really get in the way of fighting. It's almost safer to just fight on the top, but at the same time, it isn't because one decent hit will kill you. This dream of mine just wasn't meant to be. Sometimes you gotta learn that the hard way. That last sentence was really dark. Don't apply that to your actual life, please. Striving for your dreams is great.
Number 5.
I actually like Mute City from Melee. I think it's fun and enjoyable at times. Port Town Aerodive is a different story. It's essentially the same thing but with a different map, different platform layout, and the cars can be way faster and stronger. The cars in the Mute City stage you could see coming. But here, nah, you don't stand a chance. At least for some of the sections. They just zoom by and you're totally screwed if you get hit. Sometimes they'll one-hit KO at very low to no %. What's worse is that at some of the pit stops, you have no safe platforms to stand on. So you basically just have to weave through traffic or move all the way to the right or left of the screen. What kind of bullcrap is this? There's actually not much else to say here. I just wish the cars didn't do as much damage.
Number 4.
Temple from Melee was a really special stage. It was huge, but a ton of fun to play on, especially with a group of friends. Newport City tried to do the same thing, and ultimately, it failed miserably. Bigger is not always better, Nintendo. This stage is way too big. You can barely see where you are on the stage when it's zoomed out all the way, even on a big TV. This stage could have worked if it had more platforms that were more connected together. Temple has like these little sections in the stage to fight on. Newport City doesn't have that at all. All the platforms are really spread out, so all you're really doing is chasing each other down. The one area that's okay to fight around is completely ruined because the floor can break after it gets attacked enough times. But wait, it gets worse. The ultimate Chimera makes an appearance, and if you get near him, he'll pretty much insta-KO you. Thankfully, this pink dragon thing moves so slow that you would have to get near him purposefully to even have to worry. Smash 4 also tries the huge stage concept twice, and they both failed this respectively. But we'll talk about those in another top 10. This stage would be better if there were more walls added. It looks like you could almost replicate this stage in the stage builder, which is pretty sad.
Number 3.
Hey look, another recreation of a classic video game stage that completely fails at being fun in Smash Bros. 75M looks identical to the arcade counterpart, and my god, this is just unbearable. Practically all of the platforms are just way too small. Some are so small that they're difficult to simply land on successfully. For the larger platforms at the very top, it's not very safe up there. They should have remade the final stage from Donkey Kong instead of 75M. That would have worked way better than this. This entire stage is nothing more than jumping and attacking in the air. The whole stage feels like an obstacle course, and it's really obnoxious to play. The most fun I've had playing this is collecting the purses or the umbrellas for points. It's a neat touch, but changes nothing to the gameplay. Thank God, honestly. What makes this stage even worse is the ladders. There's so many, and it's so easy to accidentally climb up one or climb down one, therefore completely throwing off what you were in the middle of doing. It's very easy to climb up the ladder if you're trying to do, say, an up tilt instead. Your timing has to be very precise. This stage is trash. I know it's probably thrown in as a party stage, but it's not even good for that.
Number 2.
Icicle Mountain sucked. Rumble Falls sucks even more. How could they have made this vertical scrolling stage even worse than Icicle Mountain? Well, let's work through this. So there are these green spikes all over. If you touch one, your character goes flying across the screen, often leading to death. The stage scrolls up way too fast at some points. You literally have no time for actual fighting when this occurs. Rumble Falls feels like something from the Subspace Emissary, which would be fine if this were that, but it isn't. There's all sorts of moving platforms and switches you can hit to rearrange the stage layout. All this is not only completely unnecessary, but it makes things even more unpredictable and unplayable than they already are. Say you finally caught a chance to actually brawl, then you hit a switch that moves half the platforms in front of you. It's so distracting and irritating. Now, aren't we all forgetting one stage that's even worse than this? If you've played this game, you know exactly what's coming up. And now, the number one worst Smash Bros. Brawl stage is... Oh Lord, have mercy on our souls! Mario Bros. Is yet another recreation of a classic stage. This is the worst of the bunch. Ugh, I hate just thinking about this. So, the layout has a few well-sized platforms to fight on. All is good until the shell creepers and sidesteppers start popping out of the pipes. Touching these things hurts you a lot. Throwing one at a person hurts them an incredible amount. I almost wonder if this stage is glitched. Throwing a shell at someone will launch them to their death almost every time. It's impossible to slow yourself down after being launched because there's no walls anywhere on this stage. The POW block at the bottom certainly doesn't help matters either because it flips around all the enemies, which throws off players trying to pick up the shell creepers or sidesteppers. This could be a fun stage to play if you're with a group of drunk friends and you turn the stocks on to 50 and see who can last the longest. It'll be a quick match. Make sure to like or dislike this video. Please leave a comment and tell me what you think the worst Smash Bros. Brawl stage is and why. Hop on the bandwagon and follow my Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Tumblr. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that you can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last one. Ooh, top 10 unique Brawl stages and top 10 unique Melee stages. Wow, those are like related to this one. That's why you should click it, and that's why they're in this end card. Also, World Class Track Meet LP. It's a short Let's Play, but man, it is absolutely hilarious. So you can get back to your homework in just a second. Just watch these videos first. I know procrastinating is just so fun, isn't it?